Hi, this is Dr. Cairns. Welcome to Week 8, Managing Teams in Conflict. It was a great week this past week, and I enjoyed your forum discussion as you engaged in an analysis of a conflict situation. And whether you chose the American Dream or one of your own, you got a chance to really look at a conflict from the standpoint of maybe the strategic elements that should be considered when trying to resolve a conflict, or the aspects that created that conflict and what contributed to it, the various stakeholders, and then most importantly, did individuals factor in a best alternative to no agreement? And that's probably the most glaring element of this particular examination, is that most people, when they enter into a conflict, do not look down the road as to what would they be willing to accept, assuming that they cannot get the parties to agree. And ultimately that ends up in people maybe doing some things that in hindsight they would alter or change. And you can see actually in the examination of the American Dream and Hormel that if both parties looked down and saw what could be the outcome, one entered it as a win-lose concept. And when you enter it that way, it's important for the other party to know that other individuals have entered it and want to win, and so they're consequently looking for you to lose, and that's going to put some changes perhaps in your strategy when you think about it. I've been involved in some negotiations, and I've told the other parties when I entered it that I was seeking to have a win-win negotiation. However, if it turned into a win-lose, guess what? I'm going to win. So you really need to be thinking about the aspects of what would it take to get a win-win, and if not, ultimately, what are going to be the best alternative to that in order for you to come out with an outcome that you want. So thinking ahead and looking at the various aspects perhaps would cause you to be more objective in looking for solutions. And as we see in the Hormel situation, had they done that, both sides, both parties, perhaps a better conclusion would have been reached. A great job, though, in engaging in this particular discussion. So let's examine our roadmap, where we're going, and we're getting there rather rapidly. You can see what's being accomplished, and then what's also due this week is your group study paper. So don't lose sight of that, and then also looking ahead to week 9, where you have a cooperative examination and a capstone lecture, in addition to finishing up this week on every good endeavor and your reflections. So the group paper, again, as I mentioned, is due this week, as you will have a group assignment where you've, as a group, studied a group, not to get confusing, and you also use that in light of the high performance team questionnaire. So I look forward to reading your papers. This week you're going to be reading the chapter on technology and virtual groups, and this is going to be an interesting one because you've had an opportunity to participate in a virtual group, and also probably in your work life you are members of maybe remote teams that come together virtually from time to time. So examine this chapter carefully. You'll also notice some of the advantages and disadvantages associated with virtual teams, and I would say that you should take the same concepts that you've used when it comes to examining the effectiveness of face-to-face teams, and consider that when it comes to looking at virtual teams, and what are the things, adjustments that you might need to make, or what kinds of things can you do in a virtual environment that perhaps you can't do in a face-to-face environment. At the end of the day, technology and virtual groups, the success and the effectiveness of those, it comes down to effective communication, and that's key to any group dynamics. So I'd like to show you a brief video that I hope you will enjoy as it talks about technology.
Jobber Ansgar?
Ja,
Det er deg, ja.
ja.
Så bra, ok.
Ja, hei du.
Hei du. Ja. Ja, hva gjelder det?
Ja, det er denne her.
Ja, vil du sitte?
Takk.
Ja.
Jaha.
Ja, så jeg har ikke fått gjort noen ting hele formiddagen.
Nei, jeg beklager at det tar tid. Altså, skjønner du, holder på å legge om til et helt nytt system, og da skal alle ha hjelp på en gang.
Ja.
Så du kommer ikke inn i den, eller?
Nei, den bare ligger der.
Ok, har du forsøkt å åpne den?
Ja, åpne den, altså hvis det hadde vært så enkelt, så hadde jeg jo ikke tilkalt helpdesk, hadde jeg vel?
Nei.
Du har fått på en sånn?
Nei, da, det skal være fort gjort. Det
Ja.
skal vi se. Du bare gjør... Der. Sånn.
Ja.
Da er vi i gang.
Ja, altså så langt kom jeg også.
Ok.
Ikke sant? Men så stoppet det opp, og så var jeg redd for at noe av teksten skulle forsvinne, så jeg turte ikke å gå videre.
Åja, ok. Nei, men du skjønner at inni her, så ligger det kanskje flere hundre sider med lagret tekst. Så for å komme videre, så tar du tak i et ark, på den måten her, og så liksom blar du over på neste side sånn. Da fortsetter teksten her.
Jeg blar, altså.
Du blar, ja.
Men når jeg skal tilbake, da?
Ja, da bare blar du tilbake igjen. Tar tak der, og så gjør du sånn. Der, så er du tilbake til den teksten du hadde seg. Ikke noe...
Ok, så den slutter der,
Ja.
og så fortsetter den der, ja. Ok, men når jeg skal avslutte for dagen, hva gjør jeg da?
Da bare slår du sammen permene
Ja?
på den måten der. Sånn. Da er den lukket der, ligger alt lagret inni der.
Altså, jeg risikerer ikke å miste noe av teksten her nå.
Nei,
Altså.
alt ligger lagret inni her nå. Da må du i tilfelle sette fyr på, eller ja, det er kanskje lite sannsynlig. Så.
Ja, ok. Nei, men for det er noe med det at liksom, når du har holdt på med skriftruller,
Ja.
så tar det litt grann tid å konvertere til å bla i en bøk.
Ja.
Ja, det må til litt. Bra gjort. Ja, men det er en ting før det går. Jeg skal bare gå gjennom en gang til. Altså, jeg åpner
Ja.
sånn,
Ja, riktig.
og så, hva er det du kaller det?
Blar.
Jeg blar,
Ja, blar videre.
blar frem og tilbake.
Ja.
Og når,
Teksten her ligger der hele tiden.
ja. Og når jeg er ferdig, så bare lukker jeg den.
Oi.
Flott. Kjempefint.
Ja, flott det.
Ja, men du, nei, vent, ikke sant? Nå er den sånn igjen, nå får jeg ikke åpnet den. Nå får jeg ikke åpnet den.
Ja, det er fra feil side. Du må åpne fra andre siden.
Så det er ikke likegyldig, det,
Ja,
altså.
du må åpne fra den siden der. Sånn. Der. Der er den åpen.
Ja vel.
Welcome back. I trust you enjoyed that brief view or update of how technology probably hasn't changed all that much. So just to review where we are and where we're going, again, this week we continue to daily make mention of you in our prayers, that God would amaze you this semester through the course materials and things and engagement with each other. And that's our desire and one of my major takeaways for this course, one of the goals that I have. Also, this week you're going to be engaged in the forum discussion, looking at why smart people make bad decisions in terms of leading in times of crisis, with a lecture by Admiral Allen, Thad Allen. He was a commandant of the Coast Guard when I was actually at Homeland Security, the time that I spent there. An outstanding leader who's been called on a number of times, and I think you'll find his methodology something that can be used also in maybe a non-military kind of setting. So I trust that you will get some good insights and engage with each other in terms of leading and managing in a crisis. So technology and virtual groups is our chapter this week, and also coming up, again, a reminder, a capstone lecture that will hopefully tie many of the concepts and principles that you've examined this course, and then also a cooperative exam. And it's important for you to kind of get that together now. You could take that as an entire class, or you can take it in small groups. I just need to know how you're going to take it, because once you determine the people in the group, then you'll log in and you'll need to take the exam at the same time. However, viewing the film 12 Angry Men or the Duck Dynasty episode can be done in advance, can be done several times, however you want to do it, before you actually engage in the test itself or the quiz exam that's associated with that. So make sure that you follow up on that and don't lose sight of your time. So thank you again for a great week. A reminder, keep copies of your Every Good Endeavor reflections. They continue to be very thoughtful in your engagement with the reading and allowing it to challenge you, but also to see how that faith learning can be applied in your service to God in the workplace. So thank you and have a blessed week.